Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Valery Malone, life coach, motivational speaker, creator of Love You Life program. Today, I'm going to talk about how to find your purpose. So, I hope you had a wonderful week and hope you're going to have a wonderful weekend. Let's talk about how to find your purpose. Now, this question is asked a lot. A lot of people ask me about how can I find my purpose? What is my purpose in this world? And I can see a lot of people can be confused because times are changing, and as time change, we change our mind, we change our perspective, we change our perception toward everything. So it's kind of be confusing. Like, what is my purpose? And some people are lucky to actually take that time to ask themselves this question: what is my purpose in the world? Others are just simply going around doing the things and not even having the opportunity to bring their awareness to their life and ask this question. So it's a very interesting topic, and I'm more than happy to talk to you guys about this. Meanwhile, if you do have any question about how to find your purpose and what to do to find your purpose and what to do to live from your true self, from your true purpose, then please send me a question. I'd be more than happy to answer. Now, I did a lot of episodes when it comes to how to find your purpose on my podcast, that you can visit my podcast, Real Talk with Coach Malone, or you can simply visit my website, ValeryMalone.com. Over there, I did a lot of discussion about how to find your purpose, not only for myself by myself, but also with other experts that can give you some tips on how to live life purposely. It's very important to pay attention to this, especially in today's society. Why? There's a lot of uncertainties going on. There's a lot of fears going around. It's a voting time. So we are like confused. We are like trying our best to create a unity, to create a love, to create a peaceful world for us and for our new generation. So it's very important to ask yourself these important questions: is that what is your purpose? How can you live more purposely in your life? I mean, not for nothing, look around. Time has changed, not only from a physical level of our being, but also from the higher power perspective. Things change. COVID hit, Corona came in, the whole world, not just one country, the whole world got shooken up. And people mindset change. People are thinking differently now. And why is this important to pay attention to? Because when people mindset change, when people thoughts change, when people behavior change, the energy around you changes. When the energy around you changes, that energy can actually affect you, affect your family, affect your loved ones, affect your friends, affect your town, affect your community. So first and foremost, we have to think about that. We have to think about it. Why it's so important to not just only think about ourselves, but think about other people in our life as well, especially in time like this. Okay, so the question I get asked all the time: what is my purpose in this life? How can I live more purposely in this life and have a purpose and live through my purpose, for my purpose? It took me a long time to learn that on my own. So for the longest time, I didn't know what my purpose was. And for the longest time, I didn't know how to live from my purpose. Now, a lot of people say, how can I find my purpose? Let me tell you first, your purpose is not gone. It's not something that is gone that you have to go look for. We are all born with a purpose. Every one of us. The day that you were born with purpose. So that you have to get. What we need to do is to dig in and find, not find, to feel, to know that it's there and bring it to the surface and live from our purpose. So there's different thing. A lot of people walk around and say, well, I don't know what my purpose is. You do know. You have a purpose. You just have to tap into it to bring it up more and live from that purpose. And here's why it's so important. Purpose. What is your purpose? You were chosen as a special person to be in this earth. That's one thing you have to, number one thing you have to remember. You were born here. So that means you're part of this world. You're part of everything going on around you. Everything: the galaxy, the sky, the moon, the mountain, the forest, the ocean, the society, the other creature. These are all part of it. Think of it as in you were chosen to be going in the movie theater and watching a movie. Like the door was open, you were born, you were chosen to go in a movie theater and watch a movie. So that's the number one thing you have to remember. You are a special, okay? And that's really important for people to realize, because a lot of us don't realize that. We think that we're in this world with no purpose and we're just here. We came here. Nobody care about us. Nobody loves us. Nobody this or nobody that. That is your ego self talking to you. You're a special just to be here. Number one thing you have to realize. Now let's just go see, why are you here? What is your purpose here? Your purpose is to receive love and give love. Your purpose is for you to experience the journey of life through your physical mind and body, because you have this five sense that you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you can touch. Okay, now these are discovered, these five senses are so far discovered. Obviously we have more, and we will discover more of them and more of them, and some of them even already been discovered, but that can be done, and that could be another topic. But for now, you are here to experience the journey of life, the beauty of life through your physical mind and body. Okay, you're choosing special to be here to watch a movie. Now you're sitting on a movie theater with your physical mind and body, and on the screen of your conscious, you are watching the world, the universe reveal itself. That's really what your purpose is. To love, to learn about compassion, to learn, to be curious, to help others, to be part of something. To be part of something. That is your purpose. Because we individualize ourselves. We don't think that we're part of this world. Okay, sometimes we feel alone, and God knows I did for the longest time, especially when we are going through something, when life doesn't work in our way. We feel like we're alone. But you have ego self that is created identity by reality of life, and that ego self voices always goes on and on and on. So that the more you pay attention to your ego self, the less you're living from your purpose, true purpose, and you further and further away from your true purpose. And that's why this whole chaos is going on right now. The battle between good and bad, the battle between reality and actually the faith and the universe and the higher power. That's really what it is, because we function from our ego self. Why? So let's go back all the way. What is ego self and how it got created? Ego self got created when you were born. You're born with a purpose. But what happened was that as you got older, people around you, your upbringing, your religion, your culture, your political view, your environment, they pass this torch to you that you have to be, feel, and do the way we want you to do. So again, let's go back to the movie theater. I watched the movie. I know how it is. How I feel about the movie, I'm telling you that's how you should feel. The movie is really not that good. So as a child, when we were born, we were told by other people how we have to look at the universe, how we have to perceive our life, how we have to feel about our life. It was like inherited almost. We inherited that feeling. So I already watched the movie. I don't think the movie is good. You go sit down in a movie theater, watch the movie with mentality that the movie is not good. And it was passed on to us generation after generation after generation after generation. That is when it comes to your health, to your relationship, your career, and your money mindset. So it's very important to visualize that, okay? You're in the conscious of your screen watching a movie of your life, and you were told by other people that how you have to feel about the movie, about your life. That is ego self. It's identity that we other people created for us. And most of the time we live for our ego self. Why? Because everybody is egoistic. Sometimes they're living their life from ego self. It's a very familiar thing. So everybody does it, it must be right. So everybody say it, it must be correct. But in reality of life, that's not the truth. The truth is that you have to determine by yourself if the movie is good or not, if you wanted to watch it or not, or simply if you want to fast forward through things that you don't like. But we don't think of it that way. It's easy to follow, say that, okay, you watched it, you tell me how it is, I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch from your perspective of how you want me to watch the movie. That is really our life, okay? So our purpose is getting manipulated by the ego self. It's not that your purpose is gone. It's just that it gets manipulated. So especially the more now that we're on social media, we're on TV, we're on a computer, the more we see other people, the further away we go from our purpose. Because we feel like we have to act certain way, talk certain way, walk certain way, have certain job, certain title, to how to be good, how to be bad. It's determined by other people, not so much from yourself. And that's why we're confused. And a lot of people ask themselves question, what is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? How can I find my purpose? So you were born with purpose. You have your purpose because the journey of life is beautiful. Okay. Everything around you, look around. I mean, things that is not man-made. Just think, simply pay attention to things that is not man-made. For example, the ocean, the mountain, the sky, the stars, the moon, all these stuff that you look around that we have tons of question about it. Scientists searching it to find the answers. Physicists looking in. Spiritual leaders are looking in. Political people are looking into it. Uh, religious people are looking into it. We found some answer, but not all of it. But why is it important to look at this, all this stuff? Because you're here to witness the beauty of life. So that's just a physical, but then our emotional as well. The love, the hate, the compassion, the all of that. That is not man-made. That is in you. That you were born with it. Why do you love? Why do you feel the way you feel? Ask yourself a question. Why do you one day feel good and one day feel bad? Why do you get overwhelmed? Why do you have a fear? Why do you feel love that you have to help somebody? Why when you see something bad, you cry? Why when somebody die, you grieve? All of these questions, some answered, some have not. And you're here to experience the universe from your perspective, how it makes you feel, what is your curiosity about, and the life reveal itself as you grow. So when we're a child, we simply don't know a lot, right? We're just spontaneous, we're happy, we don't care about how people criticize us. We eat whenever we want to, we take our time to walk, we take our time to talk. We don't know nothing about fear, overwhelm, uncertainty, self-doubt. We don't know nothing about that when we are a child, from the time that you were born up to like 3-4 years. Once the minute we know that we are here, I'm a human, and then automatically all the other people opinion creates this ego identity for you, which starts from family, from mom and dad, or whoever you're growing up with. How they see the world, we slowly copycat them. That's why it's very important that for parents or for people that are raising kids is to be very careful what they do around kids, because kids copycat us. So they look at the world through your eyes. If you look at the world through eyes of shame, guilt, fear, uncertainty, that's how the kids grow up. And that's why there's so much is going on right now. Okay, so people are manifesting stuff, money mentality, joy, how to be happy, self-care, self-love. Why is that created? Because as a child, we grew up to look at the world from someone else's perspective. And then slowly we grew up. Then we, from our own home of being with mom and dad, then we got with a sibling, then with friend, then in school, then got bigger and bigger and bigger. The bigger we got exposed to the world, the bigger identity we created for ourselves from other people's perspective. And now it's time to just literally know the difference. Okay, there's two sides to me. One, the identity that people in this world gave it to me. One is my true self, that I was chosen and special to come here to witness and reveal and experience the world, the society, the universe, beauty from my true self. So that's really important for you to understand. And that's how you get tap into your purpose, because you have to differentiate between those two. So there's a million questions I can answer right now, but let's just for sake of argument right now, let's just separate these two. Your ego identity that was given to you by society, and your true self that you were chosen to born to be here to experience the world from your perspective. That is your purpose. Your purpose is to see the good and the bad from your own perspective. Now, we can go to the discussion of why do you feel this way? Why do you feel that way? But let's just for a minute put that aside. Your purpose is that. So how can you more tap into your purpose? And how can you find your true self and live from that, not from the society perception or perspective? And here's what you have to do. And I have a lot of experience on this because I spend a lot of time alone. If you don't know my story, you can go to my website, valerymellon.com. I have my story with that. Read my story. I've been through a lot of obstacle in my life. I've been through a lot of emotional suffering, physical suffering, financial suffering. And that's why I decided to become a life coach, so I can share my experience and my wisdom with people. So if they're stuck in their life, so they can use some of my strategies to unstuck themselves in life. Okay. And now that I know that going through all that, this was my purpose, not only to witness the universe from my own perspective, but also to be part of it. So those are the stuff that I learned on my own. It took a lot of years to learn. You're not going to learn this in one day or 1 week, because our ego self is very strong and very big. So even if you go and be happy one day or 1 week or even one month, the ego self dominates your true self all the time, because all society creatures are living from ego self most of the time. But the good news is, the more you practice being true self, the more you're going to live from your purpose. And that should be your first priority in life. If you're feeling stress, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling uncertainty, if you're feeling doubt, if you're feeling that you're not enough, if you're feeling that guilty, shame, anything that you're feeling right now, it is very important to put this on your list first thing first. And you say to yourself, you know what? From now on, I will take time to tap into my true self, to live from the purpose that the higher power chose me as a special person to be in this world, to experience everything on my own and determine and feel everything from my true self. That is the first step. So, how can you tap into it? Number one thing, meditation. I encourage everybody to meditate. If you're meditating, that is great news. If you've never been meditating, I think you should start. You will love it. Now, but then at the same time, there is meditation and there is a meditation. A lot of people meditate, but yet still there's a lot of uncertainty going on in this world. There's a lot of fear going on in this world. There's a way to meditate. You have to intentionally start your meditation and say to yourself that I wanted to tap into my true self. And that is number one thing. We call that the state of being. Okay? So if you have a pen and paper, write this down. And if you don't, that's okay. You can always DM me or PM me, and I will send you this process so you can practice it. Once you understand the concept of that, then start. The first step is to being. Being. What does being mean? Being, you have to sit down quietly, without any interruption of social media, any electronic, anybody around you, and simply go inside of yourself. And you can do this through the meditation. Okay? Sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes every morning and start your day like that. Number one thing you should do, just simply be. Be. That's it. Don't control anything. Don't do anything. If the thought comes in your mind, let it run itself. A lot of people try to say, well, I don't want to think negatively in the meditation, or I wanted to think positively. I wanted to manifest stuff. No, just simply be, because thoughts comes and goes. The more you be and not do anything, the easier it is for your thought to stop, and then you get focus inside of you and you get in touch with your true self. Number one is being. Don't control anything. Close your eyes, simply someplace quiet, comfortable, sit down and go inside of you. Number two is feeling. Once you sit down and once you being, feeling rises. Feeling rises from your heart, feeling rises from your mind, feeling rises from your body. Okay? Good or bad. Let's not just say which one it is. Whether good or bad, feeling rises. That is the awareness that you're sitting and going to yourself. When the feeling arises, whether it's good or bad, then guess what happened? Thought comes in. Now, thought comes in from the feeling. Everything that you're doing is because how it makes you feel. We do everything based on how it makes us feel. So it's very important to go to the feeling first, right? Once we go to the feeling, then the thought comes in. When the thought comes in reality, right, that is a decision. You know, the thought is decision. We think first before we say it. So once the thought comes in, then that is your decision to say to yourself, wow, I feel that I have enough happiness in my life. I feel like I need to do X more. I need to do X less. X mean whatever that feeling is. That is a thought. And you sit there for a couple of minutes with your thoughts. And once the thought comes in from the true self, from your intuition, then number 4 is the doing. Then you take action toward that. But right now we're doing the opposite. People don't really think. People simply go do. They're always busy. They're always doing things. And a lot of decisions that are making, they're not really good for their life. Why? Because they're doing it backward. So the process is being, feeling, thinking, doing. That's how you have to start. Because in order for you to tap into yourself, know how you feel, how you think, and then you take action. Okay? It's like, okay, I'm going to give you another example of reality so maybe you can understand even more. When are you going and looking at a land that is being just simply empty land? You're looking at it. Then after that, you're going to see how do you feel about the land. Wow, it's by the water. It's on top of the mountain. I can see a lot of stuff. This is really good location for me to build a house. Then the thinking comes in. I can build a house on here and I can have a great house. You literally feeling, and the feeling creates thinking and a vision for you. And once that vision is created, then you can hire people to build that house for you on that land. You can tell them exactly what kind of house you want. You can know how much it's going to cost you. All of that is going to come in after when you're being, feeling, and thinking. And then we do the action, which means doing. Now you can apply that. You can take a category and apply that every day to your category. Let's just say Monday to Friday you're meditating, right? One day you can be, feel, think, and do for your health. Intentionally sit down and say, today I am going to my true self and wanted to know how can I be, think, feel, think, and do for my health. How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? And then you can do that for your relationship with yourself and others, and romantic relationship. You can do that for your career, for your job, or for your business. And you can do that with your finance. Because once you discipline to have a step to take, then life becomes so much easier. Life becomes so much purposely. Life, you're going to tap into your purpose. You're going to enjoy the process. You're going to be your own person. You're going to make all the calls and all the shots. It's your life. And you're going to be very clear-headed to what direction you need to go and what to do in order to experience this world, the universe, with your own perspective. And that is, my dear, is your purpose in life. It's very, very simple. But we don't do that because we're too busy. We're living from the surface. We're living from the reality of life. We've totally forgot the underneath of where we came from and how the higher power chose us to be here. How they put he or she or whatever you believe in religions put you in the state for you to watch this movie. We forget about that. We just get manipulated by the ego self of top. And ego is very needy. Ego is always me. Ego individualizes you. Ego tells you that don't do this. If you have no expectation, you never will be disappointed. Ego is always make you believe that it's protecting you from being hurt, from going broke, from not loving, from all of that. But in reality of life, you know and I know that is not true. Ego cannot do that. Ego just manipulating you to make you believe that way. But when you were born as a child, did you have control of anything that you did? How do you look? What family you're born into? How did you feel? How did you grow without even doing diet and eating nutrition and all that stuff? No, it just happened because you're chosen. So if we can take that child mentality and drop the childish, then life would be very spontaneous. Life would be very curious. Life would be almost going to unknown and waiting for the surprise that comes to you. And that's how you will live a purpose and meaningful life. So that is my step that I take every single day, that I create a life that I absolutely love because I practice this every single day. I practice this with my health, with my relationships, with my career, and as well as with my finance. And if you practice this, I'm guarantee you will gonna have so much clarity in your life, and you will live meaningful life and from place of kindness, love, compassion, and true self. And that is what's important. And that should be your first priority. Now, I do have a free meditation track, 5 days challenge, that you can download if you've never been meditating, or even if you meditate. Just you can go ahead, download that. It's a 5 days meditation. Just start with that. It's absolutely free. Start with that. Sit down and meditate, and get in touch with your true self to create a life that you love. And if you have any question, please do send me a question. I'd be more than happy to answer. And if you want to hear more about this, visit my website, valerymolone.com. I have a tons of episodes on my podcast about this and my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching me, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Till next time, have a great day.